Imagine this for a moment. You're relaxing on your couch. Maybe you're in your backyard. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're lying in bed. Lights off, headphones on. And suddenly, without touching your PS5, without sitting in front of your TV, you're instantly inside your PlayStation world. DualSense haptics in your hands. Adaptive triggers clicking perfectly. PS5, quality visuals streaming right to you. And no TV needed. That's the promise of the PlayStation Portal. But the real question is, does it actually deliver? And even more important, is it worth your money? Today, we're going to break that down in a way you haven't heard before. Not a boring spec sheet, not a predictable review, but a real, deep, honest look into what the Portal actually is, what it isn't, why people love it, why others hate it, and whether it deserves a place in your everyday life. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly whether the PlayStation Portal is for you or not. So let's dive in. First, let's talk about the Portal's biggest misconception. A lot of people think this device is a portable PS5. They imagine taking on a road trip, on a flight, to a hotel, or outside where they don't have an internet connection, and then, boom, playing PS5 wherever they want. But here's the truth. The PlayStation Portal is not a standalone console. It doesn't run games on its own. It doesn't have apps. It doesn't have streaming services. It doesn't even have Bluetooth for your regular earbuds. The Portal is essentially a remote display for your PS5. That's it. But here's where things get interesting. Even though it sounds limited, there's something incredibly addictive about it. Because once you actually start using it, especially on a strong Wi-Fi connection, something weird happens. You stop caring that it's not a console. You stop caring that it's not a Switch or a Steam Deck. You stop comparing it, because the experience feels way more magical than you expect. The haptics, the triggers, the smoothness, the clickiness, it genuinely feels like you're playing your PS5. Except you're free. Free from the TV. Free from the living room. Free from the I'll play later mindset. And that freedom is the entire point. Let me give you a scenario that millions of people face every day. You get home from work. You're tired. You know your PS5 is sitting there waiting for you. But your brain says, do I really want to sit in front of the TV for 2 hours? You tell yourself you'll play later, and later never comes. With the Portal, you just grab it, press a button, and you're in the game. No mental resistance. No sit-up. No TV politics. You can play while lying down. You can play while your partner watches Netflix. You can play while a game downloads on your actual TV. You can even play while someone else is using the PS5 for apps like YouTube or Hulu. It removes friction. And that is the secret superpower of the PlayStation Portal. But now here's the part people really want to know. Is the performance actually good? For most users in the USA, the answer is yes, shockingly good. If your home Wi-Fi is stable, the Portal feels like the real PS5 in your hands. The latency is low. The controls are responsive. And the screen, despite not being OLED, is sharp, bright, and clean. But, and this is important, your experience depends on your network. If your Wi-Fi is weak, if your router is outdated, or if multiple devices are streaming at the same time, you might see lag, blur, or stuttering. So the real question becomes, how stable is your home network? Because if your network is solid, the Portal becomes something almost irreplaceable. Now let's talk about the design. People laughed when they first saw it. It's an iPad with a DualSense cut in half. But here's the thing. This design is actually genius. The Portal uses real DualSense halves. Not a cheap copy. Not some third-party alternative. You get the full triggers. You get the complete haptics. You get the same thumbsticks. You get the exact same feel as your main PS5 controller. And that's why gameplay feels so natural. No learning curve. No compromises. Just comfort. But let's be brutally honest for a moment. There are flaws. And if you're going to buy this device, you need to know them. The first flaw, no Bluetooth. This one still makes people angry. Sony wants you to use their PlayStation Link accessories. Link earbuds, Link headsets. They're great quality, yes, but they're also expensive. eBay, and they lock you inside Sony's ecosystem. The second flaw, no cloud gaming apps. You can't use Xbox Cloud Gaming. You can't use Remote Play for other consoles. You can't even use PlayStation's own cloud library directly. The Portal only connects to your PS5. The third flaw, it's basically useless without Wi-Fi. Even if you hotspot your phone, the experience will vary a lot depending on your speed and signal. But here's the twist. Despite all these limitations, the Portal sold out everywhere. Why? Because the people who actually bought it genuinely love it. And now we get to the psychology behind this device, because this is the key. The Portal is not designed to replace anything. It's designed to fit into the gaps of your life. Those moments when you're not in the mood to sit in front of TV. Those moments when you want to relax in bed. Those moments when you want to keep gaming while someone else watches something. Those moments when you want to catch up on a quest, grind levels, or jump into multiplayer for a few minutes without committing to the full TV gaming mode. The Portal isn't a console. It's not meant to compete with the Switch or Steam Deck. It's a comfort device, a convenience device, a just pick up and play device. And that's why people love it. Now let me answer the biggest question people keep asking. Does the PlayStation Portal make you play your PS5 more? The answer is almost always yes. Because the Portal makes gaming feel lighter, less serious, less effort, more accessible. You start playing in bed for 10 minutes, and suddenly it's been an hour. You continue your campaign, your story, your exploration, without ever turning on the TV. The Portal doesn't make the PS5 better. It makes it more reachable. Now, let's talk about battery life. It's around 6 to 8 hours, depending on your brightness and volume. Not incredible, but not bad. It's enough for long sessions, flights, or winding down at night. The weight is comfortable. The grips feel familiar. And the screen size, 8 inches, is the sweet spot. But let's talk about something people rarely mention. What kinds of games actually feel best on the Portal? Story-driven games? Amazing. Smooth. Beautiful. RPGs? Perfect. Especially when grinding or doing long exploration. Turn-based games? Incredible. Zero pressure. Racing games? Surprisingly good, thanks to the adaptive triggers. Shooter games? Decent, but depends heavily on Wi-Fi stability. If your connection drops, even a little, you'll feel it in competitive modes. Horror games? Terrifying in the best way. Fighting games? Playable, but not tournament-ready. Remote play is good, but competitive gameplay still belongs on the main PS5. Now let's talk about something even more important. Who is the Portal really for? It's for the gamer who wants to relax. The gamer who wants comfort over commitment. The gamer who wants the PS5 experience without sitting in one place. The gamer who shares a TV and hates waiting. The gamer who loves the DualSense feel and wants to take it everywhere. It's for the dad who can't use the main TV. For the student who shares an apartment. For the traveler who wants to play from a hotel room. For the late-night gamer who doesn't want to wake anyone up. It's for the busy person, the tired person, the person who loves gaming but doesn't always have the energy for the full setup. Now let's answer the million-dollar question. Is the PlayStation Portal worth buying? If you play on your PS5 regularly, if you value comfort, and if you have good Wi-Fi, absolutely. But if you want a portable console, offline gameplay, cloud gaming apps, or advanced features, then no, the Portal isn't for you. Because the Portal is a very specific device for a very specific lifestyle. And when it fits your lifestyle, it fits perfectly. Now, before we wrap up, let's imagine something. It's the end of a long day. You've done your work. You're tired. You don't want to sit in front of TV. You grab the Portal. You lie down. You relax. And within seconds, you're back inside your world. Hogwarts, God of War, Spider-Man, Elden Ring, Call of Duty, whatever your world is. There's no pressure. No setup. Just ease. Comfort. Play. That's what the Portal does. It turns PlayStation into a feeling. A vibe. An experience. Not a chore. Not a commitment. Not something you have to plan around. So whether you end up buying it or not, the PlayStation Portal represents something powerful, gammy, in becoming part of your everyday life, not something you have to schedule. And that, more than anything, is why the Portal is such a unique device. If your life has those small pockets of time, 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, this device can turn those moments into something incredible. And if you've ever wished you could enjoy your PS5 more often, more easily, and more comfortably, well, you already know the answer.